Good morning. Welcome to the last welcoming Wednesday on in this beautiful journey of the one-to-one Days for Life Transformation Series 2. So welcome each one of you on this beautiful day. And we have the birthday man's wife today volunteering to read for all of us. But yes, before that, peak state programming with our creative visualization and our affirmations. So let's start our morning. Yes, I'm a winner. Let's change our foot once more. Let's do it. Yes. Each one a winner for life. Each one an absolutely blessed person. So we are. Let's start our morning with a very powerful fact by Luke Cotino about our health. Lifestyle number 61. So we can have it, Rahul sir. Thank you so much. And of course, Anju would be the co-host as well. So yes, Anju, let's start. So the power fact number 61 is why you should soak nuts and seeds. So a lot of you may have heard, and we may have been following in a habit in our families. Everyone's having soaked badam. But now here you will realize that you're supposed to soak every single nut and seed. Let's talk about it. Let Anju read. Yes, please. Good morning.
Good morning. Nuts and seeds are powerhouses of micronutrients such as vitamins, minerals, fiber, and heart healthy fat. One must consume these in limited portions as they are energy dense. That is, smaller quantities provide a lot of energy and nourishment. With the array of nutrients present in them, it makes it essential for us to incorporate them into our daily diet. Along with the vital nutrients that nuts and oilseeds provide, they also contain anti nutrition compounds, which are phytates and tannins, and enzyme inhibitors. These bad factors in nuts and seeds are essential for their survival until germination and protect them from any damage caused by the environmental germs. However, these factors do no good to the human body and hence must be deactivated before consumption. Phytates have the ability to bind to minerals such as calcium, iron, magnesium, etc., in our body and make them unavailable to us. This may lead to various deficiencies. Enzyme inhibitors makes nuts and seeds difficult to digest, causing abdominal problems such as bloating and discomfort. When you soak nuts and seeds, deactivation of anti-nutrient compounds and neutralization of enzyme inhibitors occur. These thereby improve the quality of proteins, making them easy to digest. Even the nutritional quality of the vitamins increases, especially vitamin B complex. Soaking is one of the best methods to negate all the bad factors in nuts and make all the good nutrients readily available to the body.
How wonderful. So once you soak your nuts and seeds, you are deactivating the very basic enzymes or ingredients which are going to be restricting your absorption of the nutrients in your body. Also, it's going to be it's inhibiting in a lot of ways. So we need to uncoat the nuts and seeds with those elements. To uncoat, we must soak them overnight or at least 4 or 5 hours. Why? Because then it's going to come off. The best thing is to soak them in the night and have them in the morning. Be it akhroot, badam, kaju, kishmish, anjeer, whatever you are having, any kind of seeds if you're having, you have to. It's advised to do that so that we get the right vitamins. That's because it's going to negate it. So that's what we've been reading for a long time. And today we read in the Sangha. So if possible, please do that. So having nuts is in fact amazing. If you all remember, Luke Cotino says to break our intermittent fast with nuts and seeds, but soaked nuts and seeds, not just as is. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for showcasing. Tomorrow we'll read The Last Lifestyle, and day after we'll conclude this book completely. So thank you. Let's now come in the power of now. So in the power of now, we all have been talking a lot about being in the now, how to pull ourselves back in there by simply accepting where we are, how we are. And the last 2 days, we've been talking a lot about surrendering. And the day before, we spoke about surrendering in our relationships. So a lot of us feel that, we need to elaborate on it. I feel differently. I feel we need to actually understand where we are in our life, implement what we are reading, and then realize the magic. Some things are better implemented. In fact, most of the things, your sciences have to be implemented for you to have a good result out of it. So we are on page number 179 and not on 180. Yeah. So the question which was posed to Eckhart is in page number 179 from where we start. And that's the only question on that page, which says, what about non-resistance in the face of violence, aggression, and the like? So last time we spoke about the fact that, we can practice non-resistance. Does it have to be practiced or not when something is violent? So we were told very categorically that you need to only be concerned with the inner aspect. Now that is the most important focal point for all of us. And then we surrender the outcome without labeling anyone. Okay, that this person is saying we can't label, oh, the person's very violent. No, we're not doing that. Otherwise, we're operating from a I, me, and am. We're supposed to accept the person as is. Now, when there's non-resistance in the face of violence, aggression, and like, what do we do? So let's understand the entire chronology. Yes, please. And
Non resistance doesn't necessarily mean doing nothing. All it means is that any doing becomes non reactive. Remember, the deep wisdom underlying the practice of Eastern martial arts: don't resist the opponent's force, yield to overcome. Having said that, doing nothing when you're in a state of intense presence is a very powerful transformer and healer of situations and people. In Taoism, there is a term called Wu Wei, which is usually translated as actionless activity or sitting quietly doing nothing. In ancient China, this was regarded as one of the highest achievements or virtues. It is radically different from inactivity in the ordinary state of consciousness, or rather unconsciousness, which stems from fear, inertia, or indecision. The real doing nothing implies inner non resistance and intense alertness.
okay, we'll pause at this. So can you just flip the page back? So the question was beautiful. The question was, what about non-resistance? Now, if you have violent aggression, what about non-resistance? Non-resistance doesn't necessarily mean doing nothing. It doesn't mean we have to do nothing and sit back, hold our hands, and like just sit back and watch the show. No. All it means is that whatever we are doing, we are not reacting. We are acting, we are taking an action, but we're not reacting. Like when you're reacting, you immediately like impulsively react, right? We will now do a thoughtful action. Our wisdom, which is there within us, all of us know it, is all about acting with consciousness. Now, having said that, he says, doing nothing when you're in a state of intense presence is very powerful transformer and healer of situation people. So if we are doing something which is action, which you're taking with very thoughtful things, and yet doing nothing, is the biggest thing. So somebody wants you to, have you ever realized in a situation where somebody is very violent, very aggressive, and is speaking blah, 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 and wants you to retaliate? And that time when you're not retaliating, he or she is frustrated. Oh my God, why is she not reacting? Because they want to react, they want to evoke the reaction from you, but you're not reacting now. Now you're taking an action, which is okay, that right now I'm not reacting. I'm just observing. That's it. So it's an actionless activity. And you're going to do nothing. But what are you doing? Let's turn the page, sir. So in China, a lot of things I follow, we'll not be talking about that Taoism because we're not very familiar with it. Do we read it in the Ikigai? We, all of us know deep down what we've studied. But now, how is it different from inactivity in the ordinary state of consciousness, which comes from fear, inertia, indecision? So now let's understand. Real doing nothing implies inner non-resistance and intense alertness, which means अगर आपने मुझे बहुत वाइल्ड कुछ बोला तो मैं अपनी कॉन्शियसनेस से एक्ट करूंगी, अलर्टनेस से एक्ट करूंगी, एंड आई टेक अ पॉज. आई विल नॉट, मैं आपको स्टॉप नहीं करूंगी, मैं आपके पास एक्शन नहीं लूंगी, एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई एम डूइंग बाय नॉन resistance. So I'm not resisting you anymore. I'm allowing you to speak whatever you want without taking any action, because the action that I'm taking is of not taking an action by sitting calmly and observing you. Do we get that clear? Are we clear on this?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go further.
On the other hand, if action is required, you will no longer react from your conditioned mind, but you will respond to the situation out of your conscious presence. In that state, your mind is free of concepts, including the concepts of nonviolence. So, who can predict what you will do? The ego believes that in your resistance lies your strength, whereas in the truth, resistance cuts you off from being, the only place of true power. Resistance is weakness and fear masquerading as strength. When the ego seeks as what the ego sees as weakness is your being in its purity, innocence, and power. What it sees as strength is weakness. So the ego exists in a continuous resistance mode and plays a counterfeit roles to cover up your weakness, which in truth is your power.
So very beautiful. अगर हमें लाइफ में पावर चाहिए तो किसकी पावर चाहिए? साइलेंस की, अंडरस्टैंडिंग की, कॉन्शियसनेस की. जोर से अग्रेशन से बोलना लगता है कि अरे बड़ी पावरफुल है, कैसे बात कर रही है, बट एक्चुअली सबसे वीक है. जो लोग बहुत गुस्सा करते हैं ना, उनकी वीकनेस होती है उनकी ईगो, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे रिएक्ट फ्रॉम इट. एंड जो लोग शांति पूर्वक, दे हैंडल द सिचुएशंस वेरी ब्यूटीफुली विदाउट जोर जोर से नहीं बात करके, आराम से, डायलॉग से, दे आर द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट. लोग, कई लोग बोलते थे महात्मा गांधी इज वेरी वीक. महात्मा गांधी वाज द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट क्योंकि उन्होंने इन एक्शन लेते हुए भी एक्शन ले लिया. सो इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज कि आपको, like Subhash Chandra Bose was talking about, action, physics. I'm not saying it was wrong. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is right. But don't misconstrue this कि जोर से बोलेंगे तो बहुत जरूरी होता है. That's, we are operating from the ego world. So again, we are supposed to check that. Yes, please.
Until there is surrender, unconscious role playing constitutes a large part of human interaction. In surrender, you no longer need ego defenses and false masks. You become very simple, very real. That's dangerous, says the ego. You'll get hurt. You'll become vulnerable. What the ego doesn't know, of course, is that only through the letting go of resistance, through becoming vulnerable, can you discover your true and essential invulnerability.
So very important for us to understand again that we are in a process of learning, growing. We are people in progress, I always keep saying. So unless we operate from our world of higher consciousness, where there's no non-resistance, unless we surrender, unless we understand that this is how this person is, yeah, it's okay, relax. This is just not required. मुझे act करने की जरूरत नहीं है. It's fine. This too shall pass. अभी गुस्सा है ना, अभी शांत हो जाएगा. It doesn't matter. And that time when you let go, it's the biggest form of surrender because आप उस समय surrender कर रहे हैं, knowing कि जो होएगा वो बहुत अच्छा होगा. जब हम surrender करते हैं, हमेशा एक हमारा संकल्प होता है, one intention. The intention is that this or something better may unfold for my highest best and for the others' highest best. तो हमें पता है कि हमने इसको सरेंडर कर दिया, मेरे लिए और उसके लिए जो होगा बहुत अच्छा होगा. I trust the process of life. All right. Our next section is very beautiful. अब जब आपको बीमारी है, how do you convert that into enlightenment? And let me tell you, बीमारी, छोटी छोटी बीमारी, अगर हेडेक भी मुझे है या सर्वाइकल एक भी मुझे है, कुछ भी मुझे है, that is also leading you into enlightenment. यहाँ तक कि अगर बॉडी में वेट है, वजन है, that will also lead you into enlightenment. कई बार वजन आता है, बीमारी आता है because आपको enlightenment के पाथ में और जाना होता है. Now let's understand this science. Transforming illness into enlightenment. If someone is seriously ill and completely accepts the conditions and surrenders to the illness, would they not have been given up their will to get back to health? The determination to fight the illness would not be there anymore, would it? So इसका क्या क्वेश्चन का मतलब हुआ? मैं आज थोड़ा सा क्लियर बता रही हूँ because some people are more Hindi comfortable, so it will be nicer. अगर कोई बहुत ज्यादा बीमार है और अपनी कंडीशन एक्सेप्ट कर लेता है कि भाई ठीक है, सब ठीक है, तो ओके, और कई लोग बोले उसने अपनी इच्छा छोड़ दी जीने की या सही तबीयत होने की, या डिटर्मिनेशन उसके पास नहीं है लड़ने के लिए अपनी बीमारी से. सो क्या मतलब हुआ इसका? अब आंसर सुनते हैं. इट्स वेरी वेरी ब्यूटीफुल. यस प्लीज.
Surrender is the inner acceptance of what is without any reservations. We are talking about your life, this instant, not the conditions or circumstances of your life, not what I call your life situation. We have spoken about this already. With regard to illness, this is what it means. Illness is part of your life situation. As such, it has a past and a future. Past and future form an uninterrupted continuum, unless the redeeming power of the now is activated through your conscious presence. As you know, underneath the various conditions that make up your life situation, which exists in time, there is something deeper, more essential. Your life, your very being in the timeless now. Do you want to elaborate?
So what do we know? So now what is surrender? हमने अंदर से एक्सेप्ट कर लिया कि वी हैव नो, कोई हमें हम इसको रेजिस्ट नहीं करने वाले. अब हम बात करें लाइफ के बारे में, बीमारी के बारे में. हम उस कंडीशन के बारे में नहीं बात कर रहे, आपकी लाइफ की सर्कमस्टेंस के बारे में नहीं, उसके बारे में हम बोलते हैं लाइफ सिचुएशन है, उसके बारे में तो हम ऑलरेडी बात कर चुके हैं. अब हम बात करें सिर्फ बीमारी के बारे में. लाइफ सिचुएशन के बारे में हमने बात करी थी कि हमें अपनी कॉन्शियसनेस से ऑपरेट करना है, अपने से, एंड एक्सेप्ट करना है कि इट्स ओके, दिस गोना पास. मुझे रिएक्शन नहीं देना, जो होगा अच्छे के लिए होगा, मुझे रिएक्ट नहीं करना. जब मैं रिएक्ट करूंगी तो राई का पहाड़ बन जाएगा बिना बात को. और जब आदमी ठंडा हो जाएगा सामने से रिलेशनशिप्स में, तो एक एमिकेबली बात करेंगे आमने सामने बैठ के, और पहले से बोल देंगे कोई डिफेंस ना मैं कर रही हूँ ना आप कर रहे हो, वी जस्ट टॉकिंग जनरली. एंड जो पुरानी क्लियरिंग है उसको करना इंपॉर्टेंट है. कई बार पुरानी क्लियरिंग की वजह से कुछ नया एकदम बबल निकल जाता है, तो वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वो तो बात होगी रिलेशनशिप्स की. अब हम बात करें अबाउट अ बॉडी हेल्थ. अब बॉडी हेल्थ क्यों आती है? हमने लोग कई बार बात करी है, बॉडी हेल्थ डिसईज आता है जब हम इजी लाइफ में नहीं होते. तो ये बीमारी जो हमारी लाइफ में है, ये एक सिचुएशन की वजह से आई है. उसका एक पास्ट भी है और फ्यूचर भी है. पास्ट और फ्यूचर क्यों है? क्योंकि जब तक हमारे प्रेजेंट में पावर नहीं होगी अपनी कॉन्शियस प्रेजेंस को एलिवेट करने की, समझने की कि ये प्रॉब्लम क्यों आई है मेरी लाइफ में, और ये एग्जिस्ट करती थी, करती है और शायद करती रहेगी, तो मुझे आगे फ्यूचर में नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन मैं रेजिस्ट नहीं कर रही, मैं एक्सेप्ट कर रही हूँ कि मुझे बीमारी हुई, इस रीजन की वजह से हुई, और इसको मैं बदल सकती हूँ। इफ आई हैव दैट कॉन्शियसनेस कि मुझे एक्सेप्ट करना है इसको। अगर लुइस की किताब आपको याद हो, उसमें 3 कॉलम रहते हैं। पहले बीमारी का नाम अल्फाबेटिकली, the hundreds of बीमारीज. Second column has the reason why we acquire that बीमारी. And third column has an affirmation कि वो बोल के हम उस बीमारी को खत्म कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो एक कंडीशन की वजह से बीमारी आई, अब रिडीमिंग पावर हमारे पास है एक्टिवेट करने की अपने हायर कॉन्शियस को और इसको आगे बढ़ाने की। आगे समझते हैं, let's read further.
As there are no problems in the now, there is no illness either. The brief in the label that someone attaches to your condition keeps the condition in place, empowers it, and makes a seemingly solid reality out of a temporary imbalance. It gives it not only the reality and solidity, but also a continuity in time that it did not have before. By focusing on this instant and refraining from labeling it mentally, illness is reduced to one or several of these factors: physical pain, weakness, discomfort, or disability. That is what you surrender to now. You do not surrender to the idea of illness. Allow the suffering to force you into the present moment, into the state of intense conscious presence. Use it for enlightenment.
All right, love. So a problem अभी तो होती नहीं है, we've discussed this ना. If you look at this very instant, there is no problem. प्रॉब्लम कहाँ है? जब पुराना बैगेज लेकर आगे चल रहे हैं, तो अभी तो बीमारी भी नहीं है, चाहे आप बोल रहे बॉडी में है, बट एट द मोमेंट फील करोगे तो नहीं है। एनीवे, उसका भी हमने एक लेबल दे दिया है अपने आप की कंडीशन के लिए कि मुझे तो ये प्रॉब्लम है, और जिसके बारे में मैं जब बोलती हूँ अरे मुझे तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल डायबिटीज है, राइट, तो मैंने लेबल दे दिया कि मुझे डायबिटीज है, और मैं उसके बारे अब उसको एम्पावर कर रही हूँ, सॉलिड बना रही हूँ, वो इम्बैलेंस टेम्पररी था उसको परमानेंट बना रही हूँ, बिकॉज मैं बोल रही हूँ मुझे क्या बोलना चाहिए। हमने कभी पहली बात कही थी, क्या बोलना चाहिए व्हेन आई एम सिक और आई एम गोइंग थ्रू समथिंग, व्हाट डू आई से?
आई एम गोइंग थ्रू
यस,
थायराइड प्रॉब्लम।
अब लवली, सो आई एम गोइंग थ्रू डायबिटीज राइट नाउ। उससे क्या है, मैं उसकी पावर निकाल रही हूँ, वो अभी निकल रहा है भाई, आया है जा भी रहा है, राइट? नाउ दैट इज अ रियलिटी. The minute I am allowing the process of life to grow and move on, what's happening? I'm no longer labeling. और अब हम सबको consciously life में अपने आप को ऐसे elevate करना है that we stop labeling anything in our body, anything for us and anything for others. जो लोग लेबल करते हैं उनको प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है। क्यों? क्योंकि आप उसमें कंस्ट्रिक्ट हो जाते हो। हमें क्या होना है? वास्ट, लिमिटलेस, बाउंडलेस। उसके लिए नो लेबल्स, नो लेबल्स इन लाइफ। अगर मैंने बोला, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने बोला प्रतिमा जी इज वेरी स्वीट, ठीक है, इट्स अ वेरी पॉजिटिव लेबल, लेकिन लेबल क्यों करना है मुझे? अगर वननेस है तो वननेस है। आज मैं स्वीट हूं तो प्रतिमा जी स्वीट लग रही है ना। या मैं बोलती हूँ मिस्टर एक्स, ओ ही इज सो रूड, मिस्टर एक्स मुझे रूड क्यों लग रहे हैं? बिकॉज आई एम लेबलिंग हिम, बिकॉज आई हैव दैट पार्ट इन मी। रिमेंबर, लाइफ में कुछ दिख रहा है तो आपका एक्सटेंशन है। अगर आपको लग रहा है कि ये पर्सन बहुत इरिटेबल है, बिकॉज आप कभी इरिटेबल हो जाते हैं। So let's understand that very, very, very clearly. Now, what do we focus on? We focus on the now, and we just take away ourselves from any kind of labeling. The minute we do that, that is surrender in the now moment. And जब हम surrender कर देते हैं आइडिया, बीमारी के आइडिया को, तब हम सफरिंग को अपनी लाइफ से बाहर निकाल देते हैं। कैसे? That suffering will lead you to be aware of the present moment. And that is used for enlightenment. I'm very happy to say, I'm not going to name because maybe those people don't want to be named. There are people in the session who have come to the session, first Sangha, only because they had a very huge disease, or they were suffering through a trauma because of COVID. Now they were so lost in life, they were so completely gone that they came in this. So welcome and thank the COVID कि आपकी life में आया, and that's why enlightenment में आए. There's one person, the person lost her father, and वो समझ ही नहीं पा रही थी कि how do I do this? So she came in this journey कि मुझे कुछ ठहराव चाहिए. लोग यहाँ आते हैं कि कुछ चाहिए, कुछ अधूरापन लग रहा है, एंड तब ये सेशंस मिलते हैं. सो अगर हम सीकर्स हैं तो हमें मिल ही जाते हैं. सो अगर हमें सीकर्स हैं और हमें नहीं मिल रहा कोई तरीके से, तो शायद नेचर क्या करेगी, बीमार कर देगी कि अरे तब तुमको मिलेगा. So you have to really want something to come here. And if you are here because of some fluke luck or some one of your, soul family said, Ki, come on, Didi, let's do for this session. Let's do this. Bhaiya, it's very good. Then count your stars. You never had to go through some kind of a illness, disease, mental trauma, because enlightenment spirituality aati tab hai jab aap ready hote ho, jahan kab life mein low aaya hota hai. And surrender is the most beautiful form that I have ever known in my life for anything and everything. Everything, even people like I know of this girl, pehli baar she was making khana in in-laws ka house. She was just newly married in the pandemic. She says, "Mujhe to khana banana aata hi nahi." And I had to, I was not a family member. I actually sent her pictures. Ki ye dal hai, ye hai. Okay, this is a recipe. Okay, this is a video. And I told her, when you're cooking, just surrender. And she says, I went wrong in the recipe so many times, but it came out like so yummy. They were like, are you a professional cook? Just because she surrendered. And then the universe, the force started working for you. Yeah. I mean, मैंने कई बार example दिया है that अगर suppose today Ajay is a birthday boy, so I'm going to quote him. Suppose if I tell Ajay, I have this budget and I want this particular jewelry. And I know, and I give him the size or the shape or something कि मुझे इससे better ही चाहिए and I want this D quality, flawless चाहिए मुझे. So Ajay क्या करेंगे? He'll go out of his way. अगर उसमें 10 कैरेट आता होगा and शायद 10.5 या 11 आ रहा होगा, he'll say, Prachi, take it. Because I have trusted him completely. मैंने surrender कर दिया ना. जब हम surrender करते हैं तो सामने वाला, which is the universe or any force, any power, will work more for us. So let's understand that. Surrender करने में हमारी भलाई है. पहली बात तो ego world से operate नहीं कर रहे, trust कर रहे हैं. Trust is the only element in world which, what is trust actually? Can someone tell me? We are coming to an end of these sessions. Trust कहाँ से आता है? Trust का उसका foundation क्या है? Base work क्या है? Okay, great. Belief. और belief का base work क्या है? Okay, I'll make it quick. There are two things we operate from. Love. What is it? Prashant is saying love. Yes, 100% love. लव है तो बिलीफ है, लव है तो ट्रस्ट है. अगर डाउट है तो इसका मतलब लैक ऑफ लव है. दैट इज व्हेन वी सरेंडर. सो उस पे बहुत भलाई है. प्लीज स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग सरेंडर. लेट्स एनीवेज टॉक अबाउट दिस फर्दर. यस प्लीज.
Surrender does not transform what is, at least not directly. Surrender transforms you. When you are transformed, the whole world is transformed because the world is only a reflection. We spoke about this earlier. If you looked in the mirror and did not like what you saw, you would have to be mad to attack the image in the mirror. That is precisely what you do when you're in the state of non-acceptance. And of course, if you attack the image, it attacks you back. If you accept the image, no matter what it is, if you become friendly toward it, it cannot not become friendly toward you. This is how you change the world.
Very beautiful to tell you, if we start accepting a body part of us, I'm not even talking about the whole body. For example, if anybody has a blemish, freckle, or you have a pigmentation, and you start accepting it as part of you, oh, this looks nice on me. Oh, this is amazing on me. All of a sudden, the blemish will fade. The freckle will fade. The pigmentation will fade. And if you say have a balding patch on your head, and you say, oh, I love my balding patch. It's so beautiful. I just give it love. All of a sudden, hair will start growing. Or if you start accepting, oh, I have beautiful grays, it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to color them. It's beautiful. The gray hair will become back to your color. Now, these are the powers I want all of us to actually feel, even if I'm wearing specs and if the specs are hindering me. So and then mostly I have to say, oh, I accept my, it's fine. I love these on me. They make me look such a geek and nerd or whatever I want to say. Gradually your power will also reduce because you can see the world with clear eyes, no longer tinted version. Why do specs come in? लोग बोलते हैं एज से आते हैं. किसने बोला एज से आते हैं? लोग बोलते हैं. कौन है ये लोग? They all beliefs, they all conditions. There are people who are in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s who don't wear specs, guys. तो अगर एज से आते हो तो सबके आने चाहिए थे ना, उनके क्यों नहीं आते? And their children who are 2, 3, 4, 5 years old are wearing specs. Please understand where are they coming from. So we have to accept what we have with a lot of love. Love is the ultimate key. Love makes us happy. So let's accept it no matter what it is and see the changes. And of course, this session may be ending, but it's just the beginning. I would love it that if I can have all of you just sending one message. Like, yesterday when Nitin just sent the picture that he sent this on his vision board for his daughter to be in that college. He just picked up from the net and put it. And guess what? And she went to the California Institute of Art, and similar, she was dressed up similar, and she was actually studying there. Things matter because you surrender. Things come true when you believe in yourself and you accept what you have. So if in later you find some kind of radical change, acknowledge that change, acknowledge the reason why the change came, because we changed our belief and we went in the session. So please continue sharing your miracles and magics, because that's what life is all about. Now let's talk about the physical aspect of how do we see it. So we've talked about mirror. Why mirror? We've talked about the power of mirror and mirror work. Mirror work is very important because in the mirror, you're looking at yourself, and that time is a true acceptance. मैं अपने आप को ऐसे ही accept कर लूं कि हाँ मैं इसको accept कर रही हूँ, is fine. But मैं अपने आप को mirror में देख कर बोल रही हूँ कि अरे I accept this, I accept this. That is beautiful. Okay, I give you love. I accept you for who you are. I'm sure you've come for a reason, and I accept that reason also. Thank you so much. And have the Ho'oponopono song. Are we doing the Ho'oponopono shower every morning or pretty much on and off 4, 5 times a week? If you're doing that with a lot of love in the body, anyways, your body is feeling loved, whether you realize or whether you don't realize. So very beautiful song. And yes, thank you so much for singing every day. Yeah, amazing. Because that is a therapy in itself. For me, the entire thing is not just this one-to-one days. We're transforming life for life, right? So let that be a part of your life. ये नहीं कि अभी one-to-one days में हैं तो gratitude लिख रहे हैं. ये नहीं अभी one-to-one days में हैं तो Ho'oponopono shower कर रहे हैं. These are for life as long as possible. Yeah. So thank you so much. Let's read further. Illness is not the problem.
Illness is not the problem. You are the problem. As long as the egoic mind is in control, you are the problem as long as the egoic mind is in control. When you are ill or disabled, do not feel that you have failed in some way. Do not feel guilty. Do not blame life for treating you unfairly, but do not blame yourself either. All that is resistance. If you have a major illness, use it for enlightenment.
Yes. Now what nazariya badal jayega dekhne ka. What do we say? Bimari aayi hai. Okay, you've come for a reason. Thank you for that. I'm sure I'll find a reason. Thank you for taking me to enlightenment. Because अब हम spirituality world में हैं. हमें पता है. अब nobody can say ना कि spirituality. आधी बार तो इंडिया में या overseas spirituality को religion से confuse कर लेते हैं. Biodatas में लिख के आते हैं. Especially I don't know how the other families cultures work in Banyas, Madhus and Jains. Spiritual mother mindset. Are you spiritual or religious? What are you talking? Is she spiritual or is she religious? So please understand, we are now in a spiritual world. हम religion की बात नहीं कर रहे, हम spirituality की बात कर रहे हैं. Problem हम में है अगर बीमारी है. बीमारी में problem नहीं है, बीमारी आई है because our mindset is different and our mindset is working out of ego. So now when we have this problem, let's tell our bimari, if it comes to our body, okay, you've come for a reason, welcome. But I know you'll go. You've just come here to teach me a lesson, and please guide me towards my enlightenment. Can we do that? Is it possible? Can we start speaking to the alien objects in our body? Anything which is not of love and light in the body is alien. Start talking to it, addressing it, and see it fade. That's what life is all about. Yes, Rahul, so let's change the page. Yes, please.
Anything bad that happens in your life, use it for enlightenment. Withdraw time from the illness. Do not give it any past or future. Let it force you into intense present moment awareness and see what happens. Become an alchemist. Transmute base metal into gold, suffering into consciousness, disaster into enlightenment. Are you seriously ill and feeling angry now about what I just said? Then that is a clear sign that the illness has become part of your sense of self and that you are now protecting your identity as well as protecting the illness. The condition that is labeled illness has nothing to do with who you truly are.
So, okay, very beautiful thing to say. So anything that bad happens in our life, use it for enlightenment. Now I'll tell you what I'm suffering from. I'm suffering from something which I don't know, which makes me lose my solitaires and my big diamond bracelets all I think every other year. And now I have not let it go. I mean, I have, anyways, ठीक है, नहीं है, मिल रहा है, नहीं, मिल जाएगा. And knowing it's been misplaced. This time, till yesterday afternoon, I was talking to Shweta and I was like, she's like, kya problem? I said, I'm stressed because I've lost something which is so precious to me. And she's like, me, let go. And I said, how can I let go? And then all of a sudden I had a realization. I have got it because of some old conditioning. It's coming again and again as a pattern because I have not accepted it. And ultimately, of course, मैंने साई को surrender किया था जाकर, but बार-बार surrender नहीं किया, right? एक बार जाके करना is not everything. The deal is हमको बार-बार surrender करना होता है. So then all of a sudden I said, okay, जो है बढ़िया है. And all of a sudden, some staff comes and tells, दूसरा वाला staff भैया बोल रहा था, he's awesome गुरुजी, कि आपकी अलमारी में कपड़ों के नीचे कहीं ऐसा रखा हुआ जहाँ आपको मिल नहीं रहा है. ऐसे भैया सारी अलमारियां निकाल दी, यही कर रहे हैं हफ्ते भर से, एक एक कपड़ा बाहर निकाले, कहीं नहीं है. ऐसे हमसे तो नहीं हो रहा, तुम लोग ढूंढ लेना. ठीक है भाभी जी, कल ढूंढ लेंगे, हम तीनों चारों जने, सब मिल ही जाएगा. So today is the day I know, अरे आज तो मिलना ही है. Because I've been told very categorically. Tomorrow I'll share जो होता है. So हमें क्या बनना है? Alchemist बनना है. Alchemist कौन होता है? जिसको छूता है सोना बन जाता है. What is sona actually? Is sona the real metal? Sona is just something which is beautiful. It's rich. आप देखिए even जो sun होता है वो भी gold color का होता है. It's not yellow, it's gold, right? Sun. Everything in life, even love. Heart of gold क्यों बोलते हैं? Because it's beautiful. We say that because it's so deep, it's so rich. If I say I have a heart of gold, मतलब मेरे अंदर कितनी richness है to see the good in everyone. So let's become alchemists. अगर हम suffer भी कर रहे हैं, तो हमें पता है कोई reason से कर रहे हैं. हम disasters को enlightenment में ले आएंगे. हम suffering, so we'll get out of this. So let's understand this is what is the progress. अगर हम वाकई में बीमार हैं, और अगर हमें गुस्सा आ रहा है कि ये क्या बोल रहा है एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कल श्वेता ने मुझे बोला कि क्या प्रॉब्लम, एक्सेप्ट क्यों नहीं कर पाती हूँ. आई एम लाइक दैट मींस आई एम स्टिल रेजिस्टिंग ना, जिसको मैं बोल रही कि नहीं कैसे हो पाएगा. सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड, हमें एक्सेप्ट करना इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. The minute she said that, and today when I read the chapter, I'm like, oh my God, this is my eureka moment. I have to surrender. So please understand, this is what is happening. Now, how do we surrender when a disaster strikes? Disaster तो हो सकता है, कभी भी हो सकता है, right? Physical, mental, actual calamity, something can happen. What do we do when we have disaster? Let's talk about it.
Good luck with finding your jewelry today.
I'm sure I'm going to find it. Thank you. It's a wonderful Wednesday.
When disaster strikes, as far as the still unconscious majority of the population is concerned, only a critical limit situation has the potential to crack the hard shell of the ego and force them into surrender and so into the awakened state. A limit situation arises when, through some disaster, drastic upheaval, deep loss, or suffering, your whole world is shattered and doesn't make sense anymore. It is an encounter with death, be it physical or psychological. The egoic mind, the creator of this world, collapses. Out of the ashes of the old world, a new world can then come into being.
So this one is especially for Ajay and Sakshi and even me. When the disasters happen, when you lose your loved ones, and without any much of a, like much of a feeling that the person will go, when that situation comes and we're like completely distraught in life, that, oh my God, this is like the world is kind of shaken and I don't know where my presence is. Because both of you have lost your mothers. I have lost my brother. So we can't make life, क्यों हुआ, कैसे हुआ, अभी तो time ही नहीं था, अभी तो उम्र ही नहीं थी. So Sakshi lost her mother when she was 59. I lost my father-in-law when he was 59, and I could not accept at all because I loved him to the T. And I never realized that until he lived with me. So 6 months it took me to get out of the shell, until a friend of mine introduced me to a soul connector, and I went and met Papa's soul. And then I, Now, that is a time my spirituality also awakened because it's the first experience I had of walking down the alley and meeting my papa-in-law. And then I actually, so in Madu's, Jains, Banyas, I don't know how it happens in other communities. In our community, you don't hug your father-in-law. You don't like say I love you. You don't have that bond. You don't, it's all dur dur se. So I never realized that I loved him so much. But the day I met him in that beautiful alley, I realized that I have so much of love for him. And even he has so much of love for me. He gave me blessings. He told me, you're the light, keep the family strong, keep it together. I was like, Papa, I'm 31. And he says, just don't worry. You know, everything will happen. At 31, 32, I don't remember. So I had a conversation with him. Now that got me closer to spirituality. जब हमको कभी भी लाइफ में बाकी बहुत लोग हैं who've lost people in the loved ones, जब कभी encounter होता है ना डेथ के साथ, चाहे physical encounter हो चाहे psychological हो, you are creating your life. Please, I'm not saying that counted as a blessing. No, I'm not saying that. But try and see the larger picture. Try and make your panoramic view of your cameras inside rather than looking from a limited vision. Out of the ashes of the old world, a new world can then come into being. And one more thing, these loved ones that you're losing, you're only not seeing them in the physical realm. If you develop yourself, the mothers or the angels, whoever crossed, they're always there to look over. And I can tell you something of experience. We had this COVID pandemic in the house. Everyone kind of had it. I just one day sat on my brother. So when I lost my brother, I got his one of the jhulas. You know, he used to just have this on his balcony. He loved it. It was his best place in his house. So I got that in my Zen garden, and I sat on that and I evoked my brother. I invoked him and Papa. I said, please come and heal Bhaiya Preeti, and please come and do this because everyone's going through this huge thing in life. And I was the only one that was insane mind. So they did come and they did heal. And I sent them and to even my younger sister's place. She was in a hospital in ICU and she was not doing much. She was critical. So this happens if you believe in it. So when disaster strikes, also see what is the flip side. Now they are such powerful, their souls, right? They're so powerful, they're so light in the subtle in the energy. They can go anywhere and everywhere and they can bless. They're the channels of blessing. So start looking at life in a different paradigm. मैं ये नहीं बोलती that I don't get emotional. Yesterday only I was talking to Usha ji and I got emotional and she's like तुम बहुत emotional. I said yeah मैं तो हूँ. But I'm okay. मेरे emotions are my strength, yeah. They're not my weakness. So if I have my emotions, it's fine. मैं अपने आप को judge ही करूँ कि मैं emotional हूँ. Emotions जब आते हैं आते हैं, जब नहीं आते नहीं आते. It's okay. So please understand, there is no guarantee anywhere in life. लेकिन जब small situations आती हैं जो बहुत large लगती हैं, they're also for reason for a shift. Now let's read this further.
There is no guarantee, of course, that even a limit situation will do it, but the potential is always there. Some people's resistance to what is even intensifies in such a situation, so it becomes a descent into hell. In others, there may only be a partial surrender, but even that will give them a certain depth and serenity that were not there before. Parts of the ego shall break off, and this allows small amounts of the radiance and peace that lie beyond the mind to shine through. Limit situations have produced many miracles. There have been murderers in death row waiting for execution who, in the last few hours of life, experience the egoless state and the deep joy and peace that comes with it. The inner resistance to the situation they found themselves in became so intense as to produce unbearable suffering, but there was nowhere to run and nothing to do to escape it, not even a mind projected future. So they were forced into complete acceptance of the unacceptable. They were forced into surrender. In this way, they were able to enter the state of grace which comes with redemption. They were able to enter the state of grace with which comes redemption, complete release from the past. Of course, it is not really the limit situation that makes room for the miracle of grace and redemption, but the act of surrender.
Okay, so now limit situations life में आएंगी, लेकिन limit में भी limitless है, right? Potential हमेशा उसमें रहती है. The minute हम उस limit को limitless का रूप दे देंगे, that okay, let's see इससे क्या निकलने वाला है. We are just flowing in life. You're trusting the process of life. Immediately, that ego shell, that bubble that you've created, that label that you've created, cracks off and falls apart. And जब ये fall apart करता है, all you find is so much of contentment कि अरे, it's okay, everything is okay. And that is when miracles and magics happen. That is when life happens. And that is when even people like you and me can feel that beautiful sound of silence, that deep feeling of peace. Because now we're no longer resisting. अब हम फ्लो कर रहे हैं. अब अनबेरेबल बेरेबल हो रहा है because we're like, it's fine, it's okay, आया चला जाएगा. You know, I have seen people when they're sick, you know, when they're really, really sick, when they're going through some operation, कहते हैं अरे बहुत बढ़िया हूँ, amazing. And you're like, wow, yeah, he's in the hospital, he's suffering, anything. I'm so amazing. Why? Because he's completely surrendered that time and accepted, okay, this is what I'm going through. This is when you enter the state of grace, of a world of gratitude, where everything is a blessing on you and it's amazing. Now, the people who have taken pandemic as a blessing, वो कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए? And जिन लोगों ने उनको उसके बाद बिकर किया, कंप्लेन किया, वो कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए? आपके सामने होंगे, आपके पास 10 एग्जाम्पल्स होंगे. अपने आप सोच लीजिएगा where it is. So now what do we do? Whenever disaster strikes, क्या करना है? Let's read about it.
So, whenever any kind of disaster strikes or something goes seriously wrong, illness, disability, loss of home or fortune, or of a socially defined identity, breakup of a close relationship, death or suffering of a loved one, or your own impending death, know that there is another side to it, that you are just a step away from something incredible. A complete alchemical transmutation of the base metal of pain and suffering into gold. That one step is called surrender.
Isn't this so poetic and so profound and so deeply beautiful? जब कभी कुछ रॉन्ग चला जाए, जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए, कुछ भी आ जाए, कुछ भी, you have lost your home, you have lost some beautiful fortune, or you've lost even your identity, and you've broken up from whoever, wherever, whatever, or you've lost somebody like physically, like a death. Please understand, एक और पहलू है, एक और side है हमारा, and that side is magical, it's incredible. And that is what, if we realize, we're coming through a complete transformation. That is the time जब हम suffering को भी सोना बना सकते हैं, because हम surrender कर रहे हैं कि अरे ये हुआ, परमात्मा की इच्छा है. You have heard people, na? Abhi, I mean, I'm sorry to again say, I've said this even before. Then when Siddharth Shukla, this actor, passed away at 40, his mom is a Brahmin. He also and his mom also are Brahma Kumari followers. So in the news, like I read the news app from in shorts. I just flip through what I like to read. So just because I was very fond of him, he looked like really handsome. And I was like, he's such a cool dude looking. And I have a weakness for men who are really tall and like the amazing guy. So when I saw his mother's interview and she says, Shivani ji asked him, she's like, no, I know God is there with him and everything is fine. But this young son, she is still in the process of God because she has surrendered. So, you know, her body language is calm. It's not like she's wailing and howling and doing, that's the same thing I saw in my own family. When we lost Rishi at 34, my grandparents in the late 80s, mom, dad in the late 60s, and we are all in our, 40s, all of us, late 30s, 40s, all of us accepted, we surrendered. None of us cried. Of course, like after effect bhi tha, that, you need to release yourself. But when you surrender, stuff happens. So that's what we all are being tuned into, that please start surrendering. हर चीज में, लाइफ में, सिचुएशंस में, प्रॉब्लम्स में, रिलेशनशिप्स में, मैनिफेस्टेशंस में, सरेंडर सरेंडर सरेंडर. ईगो को खत्म करो. आई मी एंड एम नहीं है. इट्स ऑल लाइफ. You are just a mere vehicle. You're just a tool. That is what it is. Yes, let's continue.
I do not mean to say that you will become happy in such a situation. You will not. But fear and pain will become transmuted into an inner peace and serenity that come from a very deep place, from the unmanifested itself. It is the peace of God which passes all understanding. Compared to that, happiness is quite a shallow thing. With this radiant peace comes the realization, not on the level of the mind, but within the depth of your being, that you are indestructible, immortal. This is not a belief, it is absolute certainty that needs no external evidence or proof from a secondary source.
So what do we understand from this? It's coming from very deep within. अगर मेरे मन में डर आएगा वो डर मैनिफेस्ट हो जाएगा. अगर मेरे मन में पीस आएगा पीस मैनिफेस्ट हो जाएगा. मेरे मन में स्ट्रेंथ आएगी स्ट्रेंथ मैनिफेस्टेड हो जाएगा. बिकॉज अनमैनिफेस्टेड एनर्जी तो हमारे चारों तरफ है अबांडेंस में. उसको मैनिफेस्ट करने के लिए वी हैव टू एलिवेट अ फ्रीक्वेंसी इन अ कॉन्शियसनेस. Now, when we do that, magic happens. All of a sudden, the radiant peace comes, and you realize, oh my God, this is the entire thing of being, right? And that is the reason why there's sometimes in life, in a day, अगर आप देख लो, कुछ एक चीज आपने बोली होती है, and that comes to मैं कुछ और मांगा होता. Because that time our frequency is so high, so beautiful. हमने उस चीज के बारे में बस सोचा कि ऐसे हो जाता तो, and वो हो गया, voila, magic. That is because we are indestructible, we are immortal, and we are very deep beings, we are spiritual beings. And if that is not a belief, that's a hard fact of life. And when we're absolutely certain that we don't need any kind of proof, any kind of thing, it's just us, and whatever we want can happen because I trust the process of life. So life gives me whatever I want. That's as simple as this. So are we clear till now about this? Anybody, any questions? Okay. Even if you have questions, you can type them and later I can answer them as the session is going on. Now, the next section is beautiful and I do want to touch it because we do have time as well. Transforming suffering into peace. अब एक और $1 million क्वेश्चन आया. मैं इतना सफर कर रही हूँ, मैं कैसे पीस ढूंढूं? Right? How do I go about it? बोलना आसान है, करना मुश्किल है. That's what we'll be saying. And that's exactly what I said yesterday. But now let's read this question and let's read the relevant answer. So one more thing I'm going to tell you all. You may have read these books before. You may have read them in a different paradigm. Here with group energy, it's coming across differently. And tomorrow, if you read this again after a year or 2 or 6 months, you're like, ये book तो पढ़ी नहीं थी, समझ में ही नहीं आया था. Some books are always teaching you something new. I mean, even if I've read it, it's going to probably translate into a different meaning because that time I need a different meaning. So get this very clear. Now, this is a question which is very deep. I read about a Stoic philosopher in ancient Greece who, when he was told that his son had died in an accident, replied, I knew he was not immortal. Is that surrender? If it is, I don't want it. There are some situations in which surrender seems unnatural and inhuman. So now what is the answer? Let's read about it.
Being cut off from your feelings is not surrender. But we don't know what his inner state was when he said those words. In certain extreme situations, it may still be impossible for you to accept the now, but you always get a second chance at surrender. Your first chance is to surrender each moment to the reality of that moment, knowing that what is cannot be undone because it already is. You said yes to what is or accept what isn't. Then you do what you have to do, whatever the situation requires. If you abide in the state of acceptance, you create no more negativity, no more suffering, no more unhappiness. You then live in a state of non resistance, a state of grace and lightness, free of struggle.
Imagine you are in, just start imagining that you're in a river and you've fallen in the river. You don't know how to swim. Up, ऐसे ऐसे कर रहे हो तो you'll just go further down. What if you leave your body? Imagine that you're just floating on water. All of a sudden, I know बहुत टेंशन की बात है, मुझे स्विमिंग नहीं आती, अरे पानी में गिर गया, अब क्या होगा? बट जब मैं स्ट्रगल नहीं करने वाला, मैं नेगेटिव सोच नहीं रहा कि मैं डूब जाऊंगा, मर जाऊंगा, ये हो जाएगा, जब मैंने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया कि अरे पानी में और पानी इज हीलिंग, व्हाट विल हैपन? Anyone, any answers? Will I drown? Because my feeling is I've surrendered. My feeling is, oh, I'm enjoying the mother nature, I'm enjoying the water. What will happen?
You learn to float on the water.
Yeah, your body will become light. Absolutely. You will float. Because that's your entire nature. Your soul is floating. जब body में नहीं होती ना, they're like small little wisps, they're just floating. You're love and light. Now, light means that literal light, and light means light also. पैदे की तरह light. सोल ना उसका वेट फेदर से भी कम होता है, इनफैक्ट वेटलेस होती है. So the minute you surrender, you'll become light. So surrendering is very, 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 very important. Absolutely, Chandra and Ravi. Surrender का मतलब float करेंगे और हम resist करेंगे तो पानी में डूब जाएंगे. So please get this straight. अगर मन में डर है, so you must conquer it. Like I'm not a water person. I have been saying that, but now I know when I'm going for Rishikesh, I am going to go on that. And Prashant and I have done rafting, the very small one and small tides, not like, but you're looking forward. And गिर गए तो गिर गए, देखा जाएगा. We'll see what happens. We'll just float and come out of it. So that is what I'm trying to say. In life, there will be situations where we have to surrender. Negativity aayegi, but doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Start flowing. I've said this again and again. There was a lady circle in India conference. I was the president. I've just taken over. And because I was such a radical thinker, I brought in so many changes in the constitution. They were like, "Ye kahan se aa gaye? तो हमारी community की भी नहीं है. She's a new member, 5 years in president post में बन गई. And क्या नए नए changes ला रही है? इतना rebel हुआ from one section of the members. But I just kept detoxing and I had my salt water spray. I just said, it's okay. I'm having a good time. I'm having the most amazing conference. And then what happened? Floor members started getting up. Oh, but what she's saying makes sense. So what if this is there? So what if that? And all the changes went through. But अगर मैं उनके साथ लड़ती झगड़ती retaliate करती तो क्या होता? पूरा floor negativity में आ जाता, right? So in life, bless you. So in life, if there is something happening to you, understand that it's coming for a reason. Stop resisting. But Mitu ne bahut sundar baat boli. She says, now I lost an award or something from recognitions. It didn't deter me because it was just easy. So now what will happen? She'll get a much larger and a bigger award and a much better platform because now she's flowing. She's not operating out of resistance. This is what we are all gradually changing ourselves with these beautiful morning books that are coming in our life. It's become a habit. For me, मुझे कल again, I'm going to quote her name, उषा जी बोले, आप तो next day शुरू कर दिए. ऐसे मुझे guidance मिली हुई है उषा जी, 121 days 3 बार करना है साल में. So gap का कहाँ उम्मीद ही नहीं है. I said I will get one day gap between the two sessions. 365 days and 363 days I'm supposed to coach. So one day gap and दो sessions तो parallel होंगे ही back to back. अगर year में करना है. So I'm not resisting ना कि यार एक दिन सुबह सो के उठ जाती है बाकी फिर पढ़ाना पड़ेगा. No, I'm enjoying it. It's fine. It's become a part of my life. I'm flowing in it. So it's all right. Yeah, you guys are lucky if you party late in any kind of affair. You can still not come and do it probably online. I can't, but I'm even luckier because I'm going to do my good sadhana in the morning thanks to you all. So अगर दो लोग भी log in करते हैं तो मेरे लिए तो it's bale types because I get some people and I'm talking and we're learning together. So it's all right. I'm also surrendering. Every single day I surrender. Today I woke up at I think 4:45. Like, oh my God, 15-minute session. Hai. So what? I was just punching on my mobile, organizing something for the coming week with Rahul. So it's all right. Accept it. No, today I didn't take a shower. So accept it. It's okay. Today is this day. Let me tell you something. The minute we start accepting, surrendering, our life is going to be just so magical because अब suffering वाला element है ही नहीं. Mentally भी नहीं है, emotional भी नहीं है, physical भी नहीं है. So let's embrace life. जो भी आ रहा है, it's happening for our good. And let's realize that is the most important factor. The minute we resist, whatever. So for all of those people, including me, I have acquired 17 kilos of weight since January 12th. And that's so new to me. So what happened? Initially, I said, oh, how does it feel to be in 80s? How does it feel to be in late 70s? How does it feel, like this? And then I got the feeling. And then I said, oh, shit, so much of weight. Oh, shit, so much of weight. You know what happened? Oh, shit, so much of weight came. And I'm like, now where do I go? I have no clothes. Then the minute I surrendered, there are days I find, oh, my body is feeling so light. Yeah, does it really have weight? And then it's so heavy. So it's all about your energy. What are you suffering from? Is there peace? Are you accepting? And if you are big, are you accepting that you could be bold and beautiful? Or do you want to be the picture perfect picture? Now, what is perfection? Perfection is again a myth. So let's start internalizing. Let's start accepting who we are, what we are, where we are. Even for that matter, young parents or old parents, accept the children the way they are. The day you accept them, the communication channels will open up. The day you tell them, beta, aisa karna hai, the child will never come and tell you. Today, I mean, Muskan, Tavashi till now haven't had their first love, and I'm waiting for them to actually fall in love. So Prashant finds it very silly. He's like, I don't know what kind of woman, mother are you? I'm like, at least they'll tell me, and it'll be so cute to know about the teenage love. And he's like, you're such a mad woman. I'm like, yeah, that's how I am. Because I'm no longer judging them. So the children know that the channels are open, communications open with mom. We can tell her and get away with it, and she'll probably guide us. So please keep your channels open with your children, because remember, you could be parents, but they are spiritual beings. And it could be because they have chosen you as a parent, right? So don't start mothering, fathering so much. Sometimes it's important. I'm not saying it's not, but surrender karna is important. Today, the children aren't flowing in the way you want. उनको डांटने डपटने की जगह, just have a little conversation and surrender. Accept it, surrender. And then see automatically things will change. So let's do that. The next question is beautiful, but
I
we'll
had a
take
question. I had
Yes.
I don't know.
In
So
fact,
when you
Rahul sir,
start,
one second. Rahul sir, we are done with his book. So we'll read tomorrow at I do not. And today, yes, now you can ask your question, Anju.
so when you just accept whatever is happening,
Mhm.
doesn't it deter you from achieving something bigger? क्योंकि आपको जो मिल रहा है आप उसी में शांत हो, आप उसी में satisfied हो. So does it not make you totally unambitious or I don't know, meaning how to
I mean,
put it. But
you have $1 million question. So what they're saying is not ki accept kar lo as it is without taking action. What is your action? You want a better quality of life, a better house, better car, better business, or better relationships, or whatever you have. You want that, you manifest that, but you surrender, loving, accepting what you have right now. जो जितना है मैं संतुष्ट हूँ, I'm happy. मेरी इच्छा ये है, and I know it will come true because I trust the process of life.
okay.
So your intention is there, your manifestation is there, your creative visualization is there, but your acceptance of now is there. The way I am, where I am is beautiful. The day you want to, like, what happens to people who want to put a particular image in society? Now they can't accept their right now, whatever there is. Then they're resisting. And then they stay stuck there. They can't increase because they're stuck. So it's good to manifest. It's good to have vision. It's good to have intention. But it's very good to even accept where we are. That doesn't make us unambitious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are people who don't have ambition and they're very happy the way they are. More power to them. Because ultimately, whether we realize or don't realize, it's all Moh-Maya. But we are human beings and we do really believe in the Moh-Maya. So at the moment in this, this Grihastha of our phase, enjoy it. You're a householder right now. You haven't become that age to just renounce all of this. Wo bhi time aayega.
So this is such a contrast. Now we set our goals in RJ sir's class, and then suddenly here you're like,
No. But RJ sir's class is what we are doing here also. We are doing manifestation full on.
Absolutely.
But with the manifestation, we are also accepting this for a better future. We have trust in the now and the process of life. What RJ has taught us is something that we will never forget, because we have to go the next step. If you are at 100 crores, you must reach 1,000 crores. Why not? फिर दोनों charity में दो जहां देना है करो ना. What's the big deal? But why do you have to be content in the sense of not growing business? What does he say?
Yes.
अपने आप को free कर लो so that you have time to create yourself.
Whatever
So you and I am, whoever's from BCI community here, is right now creating ourselves because हमने वो free time ढूंढा है to create ourselves. That is what we are doing. So actually we are in sync. It's a larger picture, and we are going extra large now because we're seeing life also. So has given us the basic science. We're elaborating it every single day. So very thankful to him for sure. Yes. So now we can have the heart thoughts, sir, and we can have.
I think there's a paragraph still left.
Is it? Please read. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Now here is your second chance at surrender. If you cannot accept what is outside, then accept what is inside. If you cannot accept the external condition, accept the internal condition. This means do not resist the pain. Allow it to be there. Surrender to the grief, despair, fear, loneliness, or whatever form the suffering takes. Witness it without labeling it mentally. Embrace it. Then see how the miracle of surrender transmutes deep suffering into deep peace. This is your crucifixion. Let it become your resurrection and ascension.
Amazing. So now resurrection and ascension have again come in. So you're again resurrecting yourself, you're rebuilding yourself, and you are going towards the ascension. You're elevating yourselves up. So what do we have to? Simply embrace it, accept it, finish off any kind of suffering, flow in it, and then change and see the magics. Yeah. So thank you, Anju. I didn't realize we hadn't read. Thank you so much. All right. So could we have someone today to read the heart thought, please?
I will do that.
Yes, Ajay, that'll be lovely.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Of course, the song is coming soon.
Thank you so much.
Today is about work environment. So our work environment is very important. And for everyone, there is a work environment, whether we are in householder or being a house, what is it called? People who are homemakers, whether we are homemakers or whether we are professionals, there's always a work environment in our being. So the affirmation for today is, I have the perfect space. Everything in our lives is a mirror of us. When something is happening out there that is not comfortable, we have to look inside and say, how am I creating it? What is it within me that believes I deserve this experience? Again, this is exactly what we've done in this Power of Now. If a medical problem is coming, or if a circumstance is coming, or if life situation is coming, or if a person is reacting with us in a particular fashion, we have to go inside and say, how am I creating it? What is it within me that believes I deserve this experience? So now I think all of us have hopefully got attuned to the fashion that agar reaction aa rahe hain kisi se bhi life mein, या कोई एंटागनिज्म आ रहा है, या कुछ डिस्कॉर्ड हो रही है, या कुछ लाइफ में अच्छा नहीं चल रहा, it's because I need to experience that. I have created that. I hope we are clear on this much at least. I hope there are no more doubts about this, because this is what we are creating. Now, Ajay, over to you. Thank you so much.
I have the perfect space. I see myself filled with gratitude and thanksgiving as I walk through the facility. I see the perfect space and equipment for mailing and shipping the business offices laid out perfectly. An area just right size for meetings. All the equipment needed in its place, and staff is the group of harmonious, dedicated people. The offices are beautiful, orderly, and peaceful. I rejoice in work being done to aid in soul growth and healing and harmonizing our world. I see open, receptive souls drawn to activities sponsored by this facility. I am thankful for ever flowing abundant supply to this facility to support its mission, and so it is.
Oh, wonderful. So now let this be here also 1 second. So the way Anju asked a question, that how to be completely happy with what you have, aren't you deterring your own growth? So now this is again a projection of that. So what we are saying is in an affirmation language. I see the perfect space and equipment for mailing and shipping. The business office is laid out are perfect. The meeting size is perfect. Everything is perfect. So now what's happening is, even though it's far from perfection, but somebody who's much, much, much lower than you, for him or her, this is perfect for you, for him or her. For you, it's still you have to go up. So remember, everything is perfect and nothing is perfect. So what you see is your conception, your interpretation, your comprehension of the situation, thing, and deed. If we start saying that I see open receptive souls drawn to the activities, then whichever activities are going to come, you'll have the right people, the right channels. And when you start saying, I am thankful for the ever flowing abundant space, this is what is happening. Seema, we did this yesterday. If you remember, we did not read it. हमने कहा था, this is the affirmation हम लिख रहे हैं आज भी और कल भी. कल हम पढ़ नहीं पाए थे, तो हम आज repeat कर रहे थे. इसीलिए, so आज हम पढ़ रहे हैं. Thank you for your, your being active or reading that. And remember, all of us are souls and we're all growing. No, that's fine, Seema. That's absolutely fine. So we're all growing and we are in this world of healing and harmonizing ourselves and the world. We are now getting aligned completely. So thank you, Rahul sir, for showcasing. Thank you, Ajay for reading. So let me, so now in our meditation for the day, we will just have no music, nothing, because now I want all of us to understand that we have come to a point where even silence is music. So we will just align, center, balance ourselves. And because we haven't had that silent tone today, there was nothing which came in. We'll try and observe the deep silence. Initially, go with our breath work. Breathe in, breathe out. Starts in the rhythm of life. And then try and find silence. Of course, thoughts will keep coming in. But as I keep saying, just feel the thoughts aa rahi hai, thoughts ja rahi hai, main expand nahi kar raha. Yeah. So let's try for that. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale, very slowly. Once more, inhale, deep inhaling. And gradually exhale. The third time for the morning, let's inhale. And exhale. Life is beautiful. Life is observing the gaps, the silence. Life is all about reflections. So I'll now meditate on silence and try and find and spot and feel and hear the silence. So it is. I am bliss. I am peace. I flow with life. I love the silence of everything around me and the beautiful sound of life. Whatever I hear is sound is a magical wavelength, and I am making my life as beautiful as it can be. And so it is. Let's put down our heads in gratitude towards our Mother Earth, Ma Prakriti, and bless Mother Nature and thank her in gratitude once again. Dear Mother Nature, dear Mother Earth, thank you for blessing each one of us, for nurturing the roots that grow in you through the soles of our feet. It's a symbolic gesture of who we are. Each one of us has grown deeper, stronger because of your nurturing. Thank you for nurturing us with love, light, gratitude, compassion, kindness, understanding, and flowing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Eyes are closed. Let's look at a life level, at an eye level. Dearest life, I have no words for you. Thank you for all the life lessons, all the experiences. They all were there because I had to go through that journey in this life or the past. I embraced them in acceptance and I bow down my head in gratitude for the way you have nurtured me and shaped me into who I am today. The present moment, I'm grateful that I'm being nudged towards spirituality, but I'm committed and I'm ongoing as a person. To my future, I trust the process of life. I am manifesting, I am accepting, I am surrendering, knowing whatever is happening is for my highest best and for the highest best of the world around me. And so it is. So I know my future life is absolutely magical. And so it is. Now let's open our hands in gratitude and abundance. Dear heavens above, dear universe, thank you so much for having our back. Dear cosmos, thank you for including us in your Leela. Dear divinities, thank you for showering each one of us with the choicest of blessings chosen by you. The angels, thank you for always showing us you exist, for guiding us, mentoring us through the power of your existence. The guardians, thank you for guarding us with all your might. We are so safe. Let's expand our angel heart. I am love. I am light. I am blessed. Wherever I turn, prosperity follows. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and I'm so enriched and so blessed. I am open and receptive to all the love and abundances from all universe. So it is. Let's now fold our hands in gratitude and be grateful for everything from heavens to earth. As above, so below. As within, so without. Now let's be grateful to our beautiful body. Dearest beautiful body, I realize that I am the power. But how am I the power? Because this beautiful body has been gifted to me in this life. And I trust your intelligence. I trust you. And I thank each part of you for working on its optimal best. I'm so thankful to all the muscles, tissues, fibers, energy, blood circulation system, trillions of cells, all the body parts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all the bones, thank you for connecting me as one. To skin, thank you for putting me up as one person. I'm so blessed. And now let's invoke the energy in our body. Feel it. If you wish, you can rub your hands. If you feel, you can just invoke the energy and feel the warmth. Dearest beautiful energy, thank you for flowing in my hands. I want to bless my body with a whiff, the backside of the body, up to the bottom. Now up again to bottom in the front. Thank you, dear body. To the energy that's still flowing in me, let's share our love, light, blessings, and wishes with our loved Sangha, their loved beings, and all beings on Mother Earth. Let there be love. Tanya, Prashant, Gyanji, Ushaji, Ajay, Anju, Rima, Meetu, Bhuvan, Rigu, Naveen, Amit, Nikita, Poonam, Prakash, Jigisha, Sakshi, Shelly, Chandra, Raviji, Asmeet, Rohiniji, Shivangi, Mudita, Shubhra, Seema, Pratimaji, Akshay, Shilpa, Ankur, Shami, Kripa, Prachi, Alifya, Nisha, Siddharth, Vandana, Mom, Parul, Hitendraji, Sunita, Parul Chawla, Amit Gupta, Shalu, Monica, Alona, Richa, Jajdev, Born 1215, Rahul sir, Ritesh sir, Amrita, Shweta, Sanjay sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I really wish to thank Nehal. She's not here, but thank you for your beautiful testimonial. Thank you. And I hope your testimonial inspires someone to try and be there for their life. To all of you, as you know, the first 12 days are any which way seva for all of us. From 12th to 24th, we will be catching up in the morning. I would request you to not take a break. And because the first book is very, very, very beautiful, it's about the shift, which I keep talking about, the ascension. So be part of that. Invite your loved ones. They wish to be on the journey, they can be. They don't wish, they don't have to be. But you do your karma bit and invite them. Of course, Rahul sir will be creating that link very soon. So it'll come again with the flyer and with the message. So if you want, you can go on your social media. If you have a testimonial video, you can share that. Because I truly believe sometimes our expressions work very beautifully. So thanks to Nehal for coming up with this testimonial. So all of us can probably share our own testimonial along with the link. It may inspire someone to read. And those recordings will any which way be there on the YouTube channel, open for all. It'll also be showcased on the Facebook page, so people can any which way see it whenever. So thank you so much. But now I'd like to wish my birthday boy. Where is he? There he is. So Ajay, thank you for being you. You guys are special. We haven't met so much that I'd like to meet, but we have met a lot of times. So thank you for being so amazing. And a birthday song from all of us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ajay. Happy birthday to you. So your name is beautiful, and I wish you always have victory in whatever you do. May you be a winner in life. And mom not being around is just a physical bit. Gradually, we'll ascend gradually to find that she's around with us in another realm, and we'll be able to. Today, in fact, you should invoke her energy and say, "Mama, I know you're around me, blessing me, wishing me."
I do that every day. Thank you so much, Prachi. Thank you so much for your lovely teachings, and I'm ever grateful. I've had a tough month, and I was not regular, and I really apologize for that. But it's invaluable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks to all my Sangamitras for wishing me on my birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.
So with this beautiful note, today we'll end our session. Anyone has anything to share? We are happy to hear. We have a couple of minutes. Otherwise, we shall meet each other tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Our session is coming to an end. I'm going to miss the energy. A lot of people will be there. A lot of people will not be there. So let it not be a break. Let it just immediately flow on to the 12th. So I hope. So yes, and we will not have the regular logins for the registered members until the day 12. That's when we'll completely move on to our logins. So until then, it'll be regular add on to the Zoom link. Yeah, the way other people will know who've joined from 1 to 2. So yeah, thank you everyone. God bless you all. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you everyone. God bless you.